A Northern California threesome right there with Lost Rocket and Death Angel and Testament. You'll be out there among those groups there very shortly, right, Chris?
I will. I wonder if some of those guys are going to show up to the premiere.
They could possibly be there.
Oh.
You never know who might show up.
Yeah, you don't know. I know I'm interviewing Eric Peterson like a week later, so I would hope he's home. You know, maybe he'll come out.
Yeah.
Chuck Billy.
Yeah. So
you've met Chuck Billy in person, haven't you?
I have. He's a big dude.
That's a big boy.
He is a big guy.
Wouldn't want to fight him.
Yeah. Well, you know what amazes me, and you know, much like Metal Church, Testament is definitely one of my top favorite bands of all time. And the fact that the music that they're churning out today is just as powerful, if not more powerful, than their classics.
Yeah, that new song is awesome. That Night of the Witch or whatever that's called.
Yeah, I played that last week.
That's an awesome song.
Yeah, that's Testament. I mean, you know, when they regrouped, 10 years ago? I hate to say that, but it's been that long already, if not longer, with Alex Skolnick.
Right.
I mean, they've done some really powerful material.
Yeah, I mean, the worst thing that they've done since they got back was probably the last record. The Union was at something of the Snake.
Yeah, Union of the Snake, or not? That's Duran Duran, right?
Yeah, something of the Snake. Brotherhood of the Snake.
Brotherhood of the Snake. That's right.
Yeah. That's probably the least good record that they've done. But Dark Roots of Earth and Formation of Damnation, those albums kill.
Yeah, they do.
And this new one sounds like it's going to kill.
Yeah.
Which we'll have it, I would imagine, in about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for that one.
I remember when you and we went to Peabody's, of all places, to go see Death Angel and Testament.
And Warbringer was the third band.
Yeah, that was right.
Yep.
I mean, how long ago was that? Is that like 2005 or something? It's 2006?
We were young kids at that point.
Yeah. but for a small club to have those three caliber of bands playing in such a small venue right in front of us.
Yeah. Talk about oversold.
Oh my
shit.
God. Yeah.
Remember, we couldn't even get to the bar to get a drink.
No. It was
we
packed.
Just had to stand.
Yeah.
We stood at the back of the bar and watched because we couldn't get any closer.
Yeah. And it was winter. It was, I don't remember what month it was. It was like maybe February or March.
It was cold.
It was cold. And we basically hung out with the Death Angel guys.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fun. I've had some fun with those guys. You know, those guys, they're another bunch of good guys. They're really fun.
Yeah. So,
hey, you know, when we were doing our music segment, you didn't touch on it. I'm curious your thoughts before we finish up here. What do you think about KKs Priest?
You know what? I haven't heard any of it yet, and I think it's kind of ridiculous to call it, I'm kind of in the sentiment as well as a lot of people about KKs Priest.
Right.
I mean, I get it. I get it that, KK is no longer part of that whole thing. I don't really get, why he left the band or
well, that's the whole thing. He's never said, and those guys aren't going to say either.
Yeah.
He always kind of leans toward there was a problem between him and somebody, and everybody assumes it's Rob.
Right.
That him and Halford were not getting along. But he quit, and this is where I always get into the thing. He quit, so stop bitching about it. You quit.
Yeah.
And now they want you back. They've made a new brother with Richie Faulkner. They're not going to. Why would they fire him? That doesn't make any sense. Now that said, I'm excited about this project. Just because it's every bit as much Judas Priest as Judas Priest is these days.
Well,
that
that part is true. I agree that it's got some members who participated in Judas Priest at one point or another.
Yeah, it's got the same number as they have.
Yeah.
They have Rob and Scott and Ian Hill. You know, and now KK's Priest has KK and Ripper and Les Binks.
Yeah.
It's about the same.
This is
name, though.
Yeah, I do too, and I just don't like the whole competition thing. This just harkens back to the whole two great whites, two LA Guns, two rats, now we got two priests, and
he should have called it Jugulator or Hell is Home or Demolition or something. Or how about KK Steel Mill? Wasn't that what he called the first show?
Well, that was what he called his solo thing, the Steel Mill.
Yeah. So he should have gone with that. But, I'm excited. I actually was texting back and forth with Ripper when the announcement was made. And, I'm excited for him because he's really proud of those two records that he did with them, as he should be.
Right.
Those really, especially Jugulator, that's a really good record. I know a lot of people just like to shit on it because it's not Rob and whatever, or it's too heavy. It's too heavy for Judas Priest or whatever.
It's too heavy.
People say it's too heavy to be Judas Priest.
Yes, see, I thought it was a really great record.
Yeah.
As far as too heavy. I mean, seriously, what is too heavy?
Well, because Judas Priest is more melodic.
Yeah.
Most of their career, sans Painkiller, is more melodic. And Jugulator was definitely heavy.
Yeah.
It's definitely the heaviest thing that they've done. But I love it. And for me, just as a straight fan, not being a friend of Tim's or liking KK or any of that stuff, just as a fan, I'm glad to see that these songs are going to get played.
Yeah, well, that part I get. At least playing some of those songs that will never see the light of day, as with the Priest lineup. Mm-hmm. But I agree, they should have called it something else, because this, and I get he's trying to capitalize on the Priest name by throwing that out there, but and again, credit to KK, he was one of the founding members of Priest back in '74.
Right.
But KK's Priest.
Yeah, I hate that.
Come on.
That just is, that part is very cheesy.
This is my version of Priest, man.
Yeah, man.
See, I don't like that.
I don't like it either. And I have a problem thinking that they're not going to try and stop that. I think that I can't believe that Judas Priest is not going to sue him.
But again, you don't know what the agreement that KK has with the original Priest. I mean, does he still receive royalties? Is he still a voting member? Is he still somehow involved with the quote unquote entity that is Judas Priest?
Yeah. Well, I firmly hope that they change the name of the band to something else by the time they record. Because they already have a record deal and everything, so they must have some songs, or at least some song ideas together. I didn't ask Ripper about any of that. Again, we were just texting back and forth, but he's real excited, and I was really excited for him. And I asked him about coming on. He's like, no press until we're getting ready to release something. And I was like, okay, I get it.
I mean, this is like Tracy Gunn's LA Guns.
Yeah. It's a little more exciting than that.
No, I'm just saying comparatively, as far as like having a different entity outside of the established entity, it's not much different.
The question I have is, will they focus on the Ripper era, or is it going to be like a Judas Priest show with 2 or 3 of Ripper's songs? I hope that's not what it is. I hope it's like 8 songs from Jugulator and Demolition, and then like 4 new ones and 2 or 3 classics. 2 or 3 Living After Midnight and Breaking the Law and, something other than something else, but that's it. I mean, what do you think it'll be?
Well, obviously Ripper can carry all the Priest catalog.
Right.
No matter what.
But if it's just a straight Judas Priest set, that'll be really anticlimactic, don't you think?
That's the whole problem. It's just like, it's been so long that I can't remember what the reason why KK either quote unquote quit or it was a mutual agreement. I remember he was saying something like, well, I thought this was the end of the road for Priest, but then they carried on and all that kind of stuff. And it's just like, if you were so still inclined to want to be involved, why did you quit?
And that's what I think too, is, at this point he quit. So don't name it anything to do with Priest. You're always going to be KK Downing of Judas Priest. No matter what your band is called, you're always going to be known as KK from Priest.
Right.
So be that. You can be that guy, but call your band Cathedral Spires or whatever.
Or the Sentinel or something.
Something else. I just, again, for me personally, I think maybe it has more to do because Ripper's my friend, but I'm really happy for him because I know it drives him crazy that those albums do not get represented anymore.
I can understand why they don't because, Halford would have to sing them.
Yes and no. I agree with the Halford part, but like the entity Judas Priest pulled them off of the streaming services and everything else. They pretend like they don't exist.
Well, yeah, because they're trying to keep the brand pure.
Yeah, which is crap.
Well, I agree, but it would be no different than David Lee Roth, Van Halen having to sing some Sammy Hagar songs.
Well, singing it is one thing, but being available to fans is a whole nother thing.
Yeah, I agree.
They try to represent like those records don't exist.
Yeah, like that was a part of the history that never happened.
Yeah, like they jumped from Painkiller to Angel of Retribution. And it's like, no, there was 5 good years of Judas Priest in there. It just wasn't Rob Halford Judas Priest.
Yeah, it's fake Priest, man. Fake Priest.
Fake Priest, I know.
No Halford, no Priest.
Yeah, well, no Les Binks, no Priest. Oh, Les Binks. We have Les. Wonder why Al Atkins isn't involved in some way.
Yeah, pal.
Got a tag teamed with Ripper on the songs.
Remember that time that I asked KK on the interview about Al Atkins going out as Al Atkins, Judas Priest, or advertising himself as the original singer of Judas Priest or something, and he told him that he needed to give it a rest or retire, and he came back responding to all that. Remember all that?
Yeah, and Al Atkins was mad at us.
Yeah, he was mad at us because I asked the question. It's like, well, KK, what do you think about Al Atkins going out there as the original singer? I think you ought to give it a rest or retire that.
Remember, Al Atkins wrote us a message saying about how disrespectful we were to his work and his legacy.
I know. Just because I asked one question.
Yeah.
How dare you question that?
And we were disrespectful.
Yeah, shut up.
Did he record anything?
No.
He didn't record with them. Did he?
No, he wrote one song.
Yeah. He wrote, what, Victim of Changes?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he wrote one song that he's credited on, and he wants to be known as the original singer of Judas Priest.
Right.
Stop it.
Before they were even signed.
Yeah. You're not even in the Paul Di'Anno league.
No.
But you interviewed him after that, didn't you?
I did.
Didn't you interview him after?
I think so. It's been so long. I mean, it's been years.
Yeah, it has been a long time. I do remember that. Dude, it's funny. I was listening to the CMS network yesterday, and there was one segment that came on that me and you could not have been more wrong if we wanted to be, and not wrong in a silly way, wrong in everything that we said did not come true. It was about internet radio becoming available in cars in the future.
Oh, yeah.
And everything we said was wrong. We were like, well, we hope it doesn't get to where it's in cars because everything will be censored and, you won't be able to say what you want on the internet anymore.
Yeah.
And we were like completely wrong about that. But it was just a funny set. You'd have to dig it up and listen to it. But the other segment was us talking about all the times we've gotten in trouble. And I had forgotten some of this shit. Like, you remembered all of it. You were like, yeah, there was this and there was that and there was this. And there was like 10 or so different scenarios where we've gotten in trouble with bands.
Yeah, of course.
I didn't realize there was that many. I thought there was a couple, but I mean, there was like this time Al Atkins, and there was John Schaefer, Iced Earth, and there was Doro, and there was Jack Frost, and I know I'm missing a bunch because you named off a bunch more. Me with Tracy.
Oh yeah, Jan Keeneman.
Jan Keeneman was one. You know, there was that. There was who was it? Was it Steven or Vince that was mad at you when you recorded those drunken?
Oh, Steven.
Steven.
Yeah.
He was mad, or his management was mad.
Yeah, his management was mad about that.
Yeah, his management was mad and called me unprofessional, even though it was you that was there.
Oh yeah, Kate French.
Yeah, Kate French was another one. She was mad because of the comparison to leather. You know. Veronica.
Yeah.
Made Veronica cry. We've had a bunch.
Well, we even got in trouble with Dawn.
Yeah, true.
Because we were talking about that review that they got in that, what was it, Germany or something, where we were talking about was it Jafria?
Yeah. But it was like two of the guys from Jafria.
Yeah, and he sent me this email. It's like, why are you guys sandbagging me? I thought you guys were on my side. And it's like, what are you talking about?
Right.
It's like, well, somebody sent me some clips that you guys were like bagging on me, and it's like, no, we were just reading a review. We weren't critiquing you. We were reading the review that the reviewer said.
Right. We're always in trouble.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you don't censor yourself.
Yep. Hell, we were in trouble last week with Don. 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
about
yeah.
his interview.
Yeah. Well, no, that was just because, John was like, why did you guys, release that?
Yeah. What do you mean? Why? Because he said it.
It's like, we didn't prompt him to talk about that.
Yeah. He said it on the show. What are we supposed to do? Cut out an hour and a half, 2 hours of show?
Yeah.
I mean, he said it, not us. I thought that was compelling. I thought it was compelling listening.
Yeah,
actually.
it was fun.
Yeah. We're going to put that back up once it all dies down,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, of course.
Once this tour is over.
Yeah.
They announced the show here. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
It's on a Sunday.
Okay.
In like October or something.
Yeah, well, I mean, they've got shows booked through the whole year, but, obviously I'm going to go out with them in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, this is with Lynch, though. Is that all year?
It's all summer, all year.
All right.
All year. So I'm going to go, as I talked about it last week, I'm going to be in Biloxi, Mississippi, then El Paso, then Midland, Texas, and then St. Charles, Illinois in March.
Yeah, that'll be good.
And then, they'll be touring through the summer and whatnot. So, but for the first 4 shows for the month of March, I'll be there to kind of lend assistance.
Give them a hand.
Exactly.
Yeah. Isn't it funny, though, that, even now, I think back then we were happy to get in trouble. We really, you listen back to those old segments and it's like, I can just hear it in our voice. We just know that we're hitting Blabbermouth and we're just happy.
Yeah.
That it's going to be on there. Where now I don't think we even think about it.
I don't think about it at all. Because I
don't either.
It's been just so many years. I mean, it just becomes second nature.
Yeah. It just, it's like even that Don thing last 2 weeks ago or whatever it was, that came from out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I was like,
well, it was a month old.
Yeah, it was a long period before, and I was like, well, Blabbermouth didn't pick it up. I figured they were not going to pick it up at that point after a month. Wow, sure did ruffle some feathers.
Well, the funny thing is I was out and about on a Saturday. It was before the show, and my phone starts ringing. I see it's Don, and I'm just like, hey, Don, what's up? And he goes, dude, I'm in fucking trouble here. It's like, what? He goes, that interview that we did. And I go, well, what about it? He goes, it's all over the internet. I said, okay. He goes, I need you to pull that thing down. Because this is causing me a problem. These promoters and whatnot, they think that I'm like on my deathbed or something.
Right.
And I'm just like, oh, okay, whatever you need. And it's like, yeah. Let's just get, pull that down.
Yeah, and you don't know how to do it.
And it was like, that was like a month ago. And he goes, yeah, but it's all over the internet today.
Yeah, well, we're a big show.
I was just like, okay, well, whatever I need to do, let's just do whatever we got to do. I said, now, if you want to come back on and kind of update everything, which he obviously did.
Which made sense.
Yeah. I said, if you want to come back on and give everybody an update and say, yeah, that was a month ago and things are better today, you're welcome to do that.
Right.
Okay, well, we'll do that. And he did, and, kind of went away.
Yeah, exactly. That's
But then again, you work with John Levin on a professional basis.
Yeah.
And he was just like, why did you do that, right?
He wasn't happy.
Yeah. And it's like, I didn't do anything.
Yeah, it's like all we did was ask him a question, and he answered, and then it turned into a discussion. It turned into this discussion, and that is where he was at that moment. He was fighting through it.
Yeah. But he's much better today. Everything's good. I keep in contact with him, weekly, and it's like, how you doing today? And go, I'm doing better. Everything's going better.
Yeah. Yeah, I text him about every 2 weeks. I throw him a quick text. Just say, hey, what's feeling better? And he says that he's doing better. So
yeah. So he's going to be fine. And again, I'm going to be with him for 4 shows in March, and I'm going to be there as kind of like the backup to help out where I can, and that's it.
Yeah, I'll actually be launching. I can't talk about it quite yet. I'll be talking about it next week, I'm sure. But I'm excited to launch this project that me and John are working on.
Cool.
It's a cool project, man. It's really coming out awesome. It's with all the projects I'm working on that I'm just hating working on right now. This is the one project that saves it because it's actually cool and fun. And, definitely excited to release this one once we get it done.
Cool.
And we're almost there.
All right.
So, hey, can I plug something real quick?
Sure, why not? Go ahead.
Whatever the last thing is. I will actually be making an appearance next Friday. Out at the Audio Bay Studios is for anybody in the Cleveland area. Come out to Audio Bay Studios. It's a Billy Morris and the Sunset Strip concert/dinner. It's a cool thing. It's $20. For $20, you get dinner catered by Smokin' Rock and Roll, which you can attest to is amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. Good barbecue. Love it.
Good barbecue, and Dad's Wings are also going to be out there. So get wings and barbecue dinner. Get a complimentary CD of Billy's Holding All the Aces CD. And you get a show, and it's being video broadcast. Now, I'm not sure where and how all that works. I'll put it on Facebook once I get that information this week for people that are not in the area that want to watch it. But it'll be broadcast live on the internet, as well as we need to get a couple more people in for this thing. It's a limited thing, but you get a dinner and stuff, and you get the CD. And I will be doing interviews with the band, like they'll play some songs, and it's going to be almost like a storyteller's type of a session.
Okay.
and I am the storyteller mediator, I guess. So I'll be sitting on the couch with Billy and band going, hey, boys, let's talk about the history of your band. So, again, that is next Friday, the 28th. It starts at 7 o'clock. Probably will end early. So, and then, depending on how many CMSers are out there, I'm sure once it ends, we could probably go find somewhere to have a drink or six.
Sure.
So,
well, one thing I do like about Billy's disc, his CD, which was released through High Volume Music.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed that cover art.
Yeah, it's good.
That was a nice piece of work. The music was great too, but the cover art, it just harkens back to when, rock CDs or records kicked ass.
Yeah, it's old school.
It is.
Definitely is old school, and, I'm actually excited to go out and do this thing. I got to talk with Billy this week because I don't know what I'm supposed to be asking, but I'll figure all that out. But,
well, even if you're not a big fan of whatever music he does, the food itself is worth it.
Yeah, the food itself is worth $20.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Fuck you. That's what I'm saying. The food itself is worth $20. You can sell the CD on eBay if you don't like it, but you get a show and you get fucking killer food.
Yeah, that barbecue is amazing.
Billy and Todd Chason from the Tough Days, as well as Substance D for you heavier metal people. Those two, as good as they are as musicians, they're like 50 times better as fucking chefs.
Yeah.
They really are good at cooking. God damn it, they're good at cooking.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
So I will be out there. If anybody wants to come out, please do. I will take pictures with you.
All right.
Just the kind of giving guy.
Exactly. I won't even charge you $5 a photo.
No, I'll do it for free.
Yeah, man.
That's right.